Greetings, gentle ladies and lady men. Today I have quite the video for you lot. The FAL 50.63 para is comparable to the FAL 50.00 in-game. Similarly to the FAL 50, the FAL 50.63 has high damage, being a 3-shot kill up close and a 4-shot kill at long range. The weapons also sport identical fire rate. So what makes the 50.63 para different from its battle rifle counterpart? It is recommended to use a muzzle device, such as the compensator, to decrease the para's horizontal recoil, extending its effective range in automatic fire. It is also recommended to equip a low zoom and simple optics, like a coyote sight or a reflex sight, to help track targets and visibility while aiming. You may see here I am using a suppressor, which was an honest mistake I had not noticed until recording this video. Speaking of attachments, today I am using the Delta Sight ABS suppressor, which you should use compensator instead as mentioned earlier, a blue laser, and 5.56 by 45mm. This allows the full para to play like its battle rifle relative, while maintaining an easier ammo count and recoil pattern. For the Delta Sight, I am simply using it as it is a comforting sight for me. Though, as stated earlier, if you fancy another sight, you should likely use it instead. Do note, using heavily zoomed-in sights and/or optics may obscure your vision when shooting, due to the recoil of this weapon. As for compensator, you should use it to help reduce the recoil of this carbine weapon. While yes, I am using the ARS suppressor, which reduces overall recoil, the compensator should be used as it focuses on reducing horizontal recoil, this gun's main gripe. Now moving on to the blue laser. I have decided to apply it onto this gunsmith kit, as it reduces the recovery time for my weapon. This is just to smoothen out the feel of recoil. Now for my choice of 5.56 by 45mm over 45 ACP. While yes, 45 ACP presents better damage, the bullet drop-off on this option is what turns me away. Though I must mention that 45 ACP encases the FAL para with a 50-round drum. However, I chose 5.56 here, as it smoothens out the recoil of your weapon at the cost of minor damage changes. This increases your minimum damage range, but decreases your maximum damage range. With 5.56, you also get a higher magazine from 20 to 30 and higher muzzle velocity. So what are my opinions on this gun? While I have never personally used it, I must admit this gun is very rewarding for the aggressive playstyle. With its high damages in CQC, the gun proves to be able to hold its own against other CQC weapons. But not only does it have great CQC abilities, the weapon is able to put up a decent fight in LRC. It is a very unique carbine. Thanks to its damages and conversions, this is practically a battle rifle with a 30-round magazine. Though we need to remember this is a carbine after all. Thanks to the use of 5.56, the FAL para only has 120 reserved for its 30-round mags. At a fire rate of 700 rounds per minute, you will find yourself in low ammo situations quite a handful of times. In this specific match of Metro, you will see most of my deaths are thanks to snipers or poor aim. One of these issues, being the snipers, could be avoided much better if I were to play smarter. Though I got too aggressive with my weapon and had to learn to lay back. This is what I call tunnel visioning. If I were to adjust quicker, I could have even more kills under my belt. But because of my tunnel visioning, I ignored my mismatches and found myself losing to guns I shouldn't have been challenging in the first place. Do not make this mistake, as you can find this to be one of the main reasons you are dying a lot. If I were to adjust quicker, I could have even more kills under my belt. But because of my tunnel visioning, I ignored my mismatches and found myself losing to guns I shouldn't have been challenging in the first place. Do not make this mistake, as you can find this to be one of the main reasons you are dying a lot. Another tip I'd like to mention is to start shooting in hip fire while you are beginning to ADS. This allows you to get shots off and kill your opponent quicker than they kill you. You will see me do this mostly when I'm caught off guard. Sure, while the bullets may not hit, you are still applying pressure. While on the topic of tips, let me supply you disciples with a few more useful ones. Tip 1 is to strafe while you're shooting, instead of moving your mouse and staying still. This allows you to aim at the same level, or focus on controlling recoil while your character is positioning your crosshair for you. You are also a harder target to hit when you are strafing. Tip 2 is to pre-aim down common corridors or angles enemies often hold. While I've mentioned pre-firing, pre-aiming is a good strategy as well if you are expecting an opponent to walk through your crosshair. This allows you to just shoot without having to reposition your mouse. Tip 3 is to super jump while you begin shooting as well. What is the point of this, you ask? Well, for starters, it allows you to gain high ground for a small period of time. Not only that, but your opponent now needs to spend time looking up at you to shoot back, while you can just keep shooting down at them. Now let us move on to Game 2, a map that challenged this gun. I'm not sure if this is controversial or not, but I believe Ravode 911 is a subpar map. Maybe this is because I'm the worst sniper player known to man, but climbing atop of these buildings, specifically on the 2016 version, feels like a task not even David Goggins could complete. You will see for majority of the early game I struggle. This is because the gaps, or points of this map, where you would rotate, are also spawn points. And in the case that they're not a spawn point, there is a good chance the enemy team is watching the area that you are crossing through, thanks to snipers. Usually I have a solution for this, but on Ravod, I simply just hope my brute force can satisfy my predicament. One nice area I like to play here is indoors, where the outdoors cannot harm me. This grants me access to playing like a snake, getting my kill and running underground or out of sight to maintain my life. Remember, friends, always shoot back at whoever is shooting you. I've mentioned this in a previous video, but you should always go for the person who's in the better position to kill you. Another reason as to why I don't like this map, especially for carbines, is that playing passive will limit your kills, while playing aggressive will uncap the amount of times you can die. This makes it a paradox predicament. Would you rather consistently die while trying to get kills? Or would you rather live for long without getting the satisfaction of killing others? While the common solution is to play a long-ranged weapon, I needed to challenge myself to show the capabilities of this gun. Enough about struggling. Let us skip to when I begin to gain confidence and how I overcome this blunder of mine. Here I begin doing much better for myself. I noticed that the enemy team wasn't protecting these side areas I spoke about earlier, and begin to use it for my advantage. While usually these areas are active, I found the enemy team was outnumbered, and so my attacks began from the side. In situations like this, you will find yourself winning. By now, their team stopped spawning and just freely gave up map control to us. So while it was thanks to space being opened, the FAL Para proved to hold its own on a map like this, simply by its damage output and ranges. In the end, while the FAL Para is not the greatest carbine, it is definitely strong enough and viable in the right hands. If you want a fun gun to try, I recommend this weapon, and experimenting with its multiple ammo types. Ammo types I recommend are 5.56, 45 ACP, and hollow point. That is all for today's Let's Play, and in the end I rate this weapon a 7.9 out of 10. It is great for those who want an off-meta gun that can still keep up and hold its own. Thank you for watching this Melody production, and enjoy your wonderful day.